That nigga is a clone, bro.
He definitely.
I think Kodak a clone too.
He shit. Hell yeah.
I don't think Kodak a clone. If Kodak come out,
bro, look too different.
But did you see the picture they posted of him when he was in jail? That didn't look like him.
That's
That nigga is
him.
my color, and Kodak is your color. If not,
wouldn't the specimen have to actually
that
grow?
nigga just looked like he was eating.
No, they have a way to like force like advance like.
But they can clone you how you are right now. It's not like it's a seed that has to grow.
Nah, they said
That's
it's
what I'm saying. When they cloned the sheep actually had to
no,
grow
but
up.
what they said is they have
it
like
died several times actually before they were
but
successful.
but that's 12 years ago. They by
Of
now
course,
they would have
but
perfected.
still.
Plus you gotta understand what they show us in public
So
versus what they have in like. That wasn't new technology at that time. That's just showing
so
us.
they could create an adult functioning.
It's an accelerant. That's what I was told. They have like an accelerant that like forces growth.
But when I seen them clone a dog, it was the other dog came out just the same size as the other one. He didn't have to grow.
Biologically, I don't understand how that could happen.
Well, I mean, if they can grow humans in artificial wombs, then.
2,000 years later.
Well, welcome to the Classic Conversation Podcast. It's a heavy dose of conspiracy theorists just now. Maybe right, maybe wrong. Who knows?
I never met a conspiracy theory I didn't like.
I've never heard that before. I guess that's a new quote. We'll have to put the text across the screen. People can run that back for you so you can know what the fuck that means. But Classic Conversations. Talking about clones, they finna clone A$AP Rocky in Sweden?
Shit, they might. I mean, the way I see it, every time these artists go to jail, there's a possibility they make him out a clone, because that's what they did with Gucci, man.
Damn, that's cold game.
They could have done that.
I don't think A$AP's worth it. Like, what's the purpose of him being cloned? Like, he's not even. I don't see the purpose.
He's the biggest grossing artist in A$AP though.
Yeah.
Compared to what?
Compared to really? Over a Ferg?
Yes. Come on,
I don't see the purpose.
Ferg is like the.
I don't see.
Ferg is in my opinion, Ferg is my favorite A$AP artist.
For sure, same.
But I think he's still like the underdog though, in the camp. A$AP Rocky popped off for A$AP Ferg too.
Yeah.
A$AP Ferg got more.
I think in the music today,
songs,
Ferg is more relevant than A$AP.
Yeah, but A$AP do all that fashion shit.
Yeah, that's
you know, but Ferg do too though. So 50-50. You'll be able to tell me more anyway. I'm not too much into A$AP Rocky that much. But it's fucked up though. I was just reading on the computer. That shit was like he started trial on Tuesday and they gotta go Thursday and Friday. So it's like a 3-day mandatory part. So I'm wondering what's gonna come after that shit. That shit probably gonna look crazy. What you think? I don't and on top of that I'm gonna just put out there like I don't wish jail on nobody. Like that's being in captivity and not being able to have your free will is a very horrible thing. But yeah, what do y'all think about that?
I don't wish jail on nobody, but I don't really feel bad for him either. I feel like when they were talking about the whole Black Lives Matter, he got real arrogant. Was like, nigga, I can't relate to that shit. Like, nigga, I'm in Europe and like that Black Lives Matter. That's a trend. Like,
when did he say that?
When the whole shit was going on in Ferguson.
What was that, like 2013?
2012.
2012?
Probably like 2012.
I think it was 2012. And he was like, nigga, I be in the hills. Like, I be overseas with bitches.
Houses,
like, I be in these bitches' drawers. Ask me about that. Don't ask me about no shit I can't relate to. It's like, nigga, at the end of the day, you're still a black man. I don't care how much money you got. Like,
right.
So it's like, I don't wish it on him, but I also would think that life has a way of showing you shit and humbling you.
Side note, is that the same thing? You compare that to the same thing Wayne was saying? When that nigga was like, I ain't never dealt with no racism and shit.
Yeah, I have a very hard time believing that.
You remember Lil Wayne said that?
Yeah.
I have a hard time believing that.
I know that this nigga from Louisiana. This nigga wasn't rich his whole life, so nigga definitely dealt with some racism, but I don't know, it probably was the lean.
Yeah, but his reason was silly. One of the reasons why he said he didn't was because of that police officer that took him to the hospital when he shot himself was a white guy, and he said the black officer stepped over him and was like looking for dope or whatever. They was concentrating on the crime as opposed to the kid. Yeah, so he says the white officer was the one who picked him up, put him in the car and took him. So he said based on that, racism doesn't exist.
That's insane.
Yeah, he's a
Just
nut.
off of one situation, he says racism doesn't exist.
Right, he's a nut. But I mean, go back to the ASAP shit. Well, you know, that was what's that, like 6 years ago, 7 years ago almost. I do think people can change. I mean, ASAP Rocky's a pretty confident guy, so I know that I'm pretty sure he would stand on those remarks if this situation didn't happen. Like if somebody had asked about him,
You think
asked him about it.
That would have changed now?
It's 50-50, but I think more than likely he'll probably still stand on his statement.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
for sure. Okay.
Like
Yeah.
I said the shit, like I'm really in these places, even to more now. But yeah, that's just fucked up. Like you in jail in another country, you don't speak that language.
Sweet, but see, like, it's interesting for them to say he's living in inhumane conditions because I watch a lot of Locked Up Abroad, and Sweden is one of the most chill places to be in jail. Like, if he was in Russia, when you're in jail, they literally blindfold you. They tell you to bend over. You have to walk like hunched over.
Yeah.
Sweden is very chill,
What
very
you mean
neutral.
you have to walk over hunched over?
Like they literally put your hands behind your back and like push your back down to make you walk, and they turn you in a
basically
circle.
be like the Russian.
You don't know where you're going.
The Russian prisoners are the most like skillful prisoners, like as far as escape tactics and all that type of stuff, and like lethalness and being like violent hand-to-hand combat. So what they do is they put blindfolds over them and they make them walk with their face towards the ground, so they don't memorize patterns of which ways they're getting walked to and stuff like that. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've seen that a few times. So Sweden's not that bad. I mean, granted, I would never. Like that's why when I go out of the country, I'm very careful with how I act.
But then
and shit like
that's the
that.
point though. He should know that. Like,
But
you
see, he
know
don't
that you
feel like he's out the country because he's always in Europe.
Yeah, but I mean,
So he's not probably really thinking of it how me or you would think.
He thinking
that's-
he ASAP Rocky.
yeah, that's the thing though. So he think he's bigger than the rule.
Situation.
Like
Right.
everybody knows you don't go out of state. Like, see what happened
To Fresh. When he got arrested. Was you here last time we was talking about that?
No.
You wasn't here when he talking about
You got arrested? Where?
Captain Save-A-Hole in Mexico?
Oh yeah, you fucking wild. That's in Mexico too. Yeah, that nigga's asking to die.
It wasn't really. I was kind of the outside of the situation, and I chose to like help somebody else.
I know, which was really stupid.
And
Fresh.
then
Don't worry, we'll get the cut
We'll get that.
from the last episode. We'll put it in this episode as a flashback, and then boom, we'll update all the new listeners and viewers.
But I think
But you-
ASAP be overseas so much. I don't think he really thinks like.
I think it's just his arrogance.
Yeah, that's
I think he
it.
just think
For
he's
sure.
bigger than the rule.
For sure.
But like you see all the basketball players and artists who have gone stealing in certain places and caught situations, and
I've been a
they
victim.
can't
of it
always
before.
get you out. And he gonna be that dude that reaffirms the rule.
But you know what? It's so funny. After that shit happened, like last week, the shit with Future, like how he was at. He was in
bodyguard?
Spain, and how his bodyguard, some fans came up to him
And
and
knocked
they
that
wanted
nigga
to ask for a picture. But what happened was that his fans came up to him when he was with his bodyguard and said, "Hey, can I have a picture?" And he was like, "Nah." Then I think his bodyguard dropped him off at the airport, left, and then they jumped his bodyguard. So it's like these niggas.
But
be
they sucker
overseas, be
punched him.
wildin'.
They sucker punched him, and apparently one of them had
Something in his hand.
like brass knuckles, and that's how he was.
He
That's
knocked
how
he
he
knocked
dropped
him out.
him.
Yeah,
Okay.
dropped him.
Okay.
Because it's not like
I was
you're not
running
gonna
like
drop him
that.
like
That's
that.
a little. That's a little motherfucking.
Yeah.
Pack. I was like, that nigga pack a punch if he just
Nah.
slept.
No,
that
they said
big
he
ass
had
joint.
big-
He
Yeah,
had,
some in his
he
hand.
had brass knuckles.
But it's like these fans gotta chill. Like at the end of the day, these niggas are humans. Like these are still regular people.
Or yeah, I mean, even when you take it from that to the video that surfaced recently about Nip, where the people had the phone.
Yeah, like what are you doing?
Like I've seen that shit happen before. Like I was when I worked at the Apple store. What's bro name? Jordan.
Clarkson.
Nah, the play for the Clippers.
Oh, you talking
DeAndre
about
Jordan. Yeah. He came in there, and that was like after his mom's had just passed, and it was this kid who. Keep in mind at the Century City Mall, that's no cameras. It's like a paparazzi-free zone.
I didn't know that.
So you're not even as fans, you're not supposed to take pictures. Or security will escort you out, and then they'll ban you. So that's where stars go to get away from paparazzi. So store managers asked his kid stop taking pictures because obviously he didn't want. He said, "Nah, I'm cool, kid. Like not right now." The kid kept trying him. To the point where his explanation for it later was like, how dare he? He's a celebrity. Like that's his job 24/7.
It's not though.
And and DeAndre just ended up just leaving, didn't buy nothing, ended up just walking out and leaving because the kid just kept pestering him. And so I've seen it happen many times where people expect celebrities to cater to them, and just because you're a celebrity, you don't get to own any of your own time. Basically, you're a celebrity, so you're supposed to be on the job 24/7, and your life is basically mine as a fan. It's fucked
And that's
up.
unfair. I think my thought process of it is a little different. Like all of us are born and raised in LA, but I went to school like to Fairfax, and like I would literally leave high school and see Chris Brown in his prime walking down Melrose. I would see The Game. I would see all these artists. I would see T.I. So it's like seeing the celebrities is very normal to us. So I understand how people who are from the suburbs, that shit is like crazy to them. But for me, it's like, these niggas are humans. Like, leave these niggas alone. Like, I've seen The Game in the Foster's mom. He was with his kids. Somebody's like, broken up a picture. I'm like, nigga, what are you doing? Like, he's with his child. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that's just... People forget that these niggas are humans at the end of the day, and like they may have a bad day. Like, nigga, I don't feel like talking to you. Leave me the fuck alone.
I just read the whole article on CNN. This shit is like,
about ASAP?
yeah, they don't have a bail system in Sweden, so nobody gets bail until you go to court.
Okay.
So they're saying like, we don't even have a bail system, so why are we going to create one
For him.
for him? And then they said that their judicial system is separate from the government, so that the government cannot interfere.
Which is
and
cool.
and it says everybody, once you step in Sweden, is equal in front of the Sweden law. And there's no type of hierarchy because the government has no type of jurisdiction in it. So it was like, we're not involving Trump, which is a government entity, into our business when we don't even do it with our own citizens.
That's smart.
Yeah, they say Sweden is one of the countries that's like most or least corrupt.
Yeah.
So,
I believe that was a country that they
prime
just like
minister.
got rid of all of their
So you guys are saying-
bankers.
over here, you could pay. They'll ask an artist to pay $500,000 or more, but over there they won't do
Well,
that.
in America they have. It's not even in America. Certain states, like for instance, in California, you can get bail, and then they have bail bondsmen. So you can put something up equity wise to be able to afford bail. In Illinois, they only have bail, but they have no bail bond systems. So that means you got to pay the full price of bail, or you sit your ass in jail. It ain't no leveraging nothing. So overseas, they don't even have a bail system at all. They don't set no bail. They say like you're sitting till you go to court. Nigga, like you're about to sit here until your court date, and then we figure out what you're gonna do after that. And then they saying, especially because A$AP Rocky's a flight risk, because if you go to the U.S., he don't gotta go back.
That's what I was like. They let that nigga go. I'm out of here.
He out. Once you on that plane, it ain't no nigga don't even gotta come back to see what type of judgment gets handed down. He just not gonna go no more.
So the no bail over there is like a form of like to keep away corruption. Is that the reason they do that?
I'm pretty sure it just makes it everything equal because you gotta think.
Why we do that? Actually?
Like right now,
It's
rich
just
people.
America.
It's because
This is
America has that
way more
hierarchy that he's talking
crime.
about.
Yeah,
Like,
but
and
rich people can get
yeah,
bail though most of the time.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
They just gotta summons their passport or be on house arrest if they have a jet, shit like that. But yeah, you
so
can
that's
get you out
like
here.
he's saying, that's a way for it to be absolutely equal. So everybody's like when they appear before, I guess, the judge or whatever, nobody has preferential treatment based on how much money they have. So you get what you get, and there's no way really of getting out of it.
And I think it's a way for like you to be everything to be fair. Because in America, everything's very corrupt, especially in
fuck yeah.
like prison is lit. I mean, that's a whole nother thing, but like prison is literally.
So that's
like
so that's like crazy because he's literally expecting himself to be set apart. Because as a black man, you would think that in America he would, associate, or not even associate, but feel, like, okay, I'm a black man, so I don't get fair judgment, right? But because he has money, now that puts him in a different place where now he's not just a black man. He can actually pay those, those high bail numbers and just skip judgment, but go somewhere else. And now it's not even an option. So I think that's his arrogance where he just thinks, I'm not black. I'm not black because I got this money. I don't have to deal with the same things that normal black people do.
Yeah.
And now I'm over here. I think I could do the same thing. And now he's got his nigga wake up call. So
we all get one.
Yeah, for sure. I feel bad for him because I wouldn't wish jail on nobody, especially in a foreign country, because the customs are different. In America, we have such a unique judicial system and everything. Like you said, it's capitalism. Everything can be bought. Like he could have been bought his ass out of jail.
That nigga,
I mean,
if he get a year or 2 years, if he get
But
any
Sweden,
time,
but see,
like,
that's not even that. I mean, I get it. It's
Still,
another
nigga,
country,
that's-
but like, it could be worse. He could be in China. He could be in Korea. He could be in Russia. Sweden is not that bad. It's honestly better than a lot of jails. It's better than county jail
I'm
here,
just
nigga.
saying, like, still, nigga, it's like, you don't speak no language, nigga. The TV shows is all in Sweden, nigga. You gonna be sitting there in the day room, like,
I mean, you know, I can't even really feel bad for him because he knew the rules.
You do not act up in another
You don't,
country.
yeah, you
nigga.
don't do that.
Hell no.
So that reaffirmed the rule.
So I wonder, like, what's gonna happen though. Like, I'm really interested. Like, after everything you just said, how the government is separate from their judicial system. I'm wondering how that's gonna play out. He probably, I showed you the pictures. They fucked that boy up. He gonna do some time. He not.
trial started tomorrow.
He gonna do some time. They fucked that white boy
I
up.
think he's not gonna be a trending topic, man.
No, he gonna do the time.
They say he's facing 2 years. So I don't know how they.
I wonder if
Like,
they
you
got
gonna be
like.
tuned in tomorrow?
Of course, I want to see what's gonna happen. I'm just after what you told me, I'm really interested in how it's gonna play out. Because if he's facing up to 2, you know, they say that shit out here, and nigga really do 8 months, and then he done 6 months, he done.
Yeah, I don't know. Do they have a probationary situation where after
I
you?
don't know. They didn't say all that.
I mean, obviously it wouldn't matter because bro hop on a plane and just disappear. But maybe they keep you on probation and they
extradite
won't
that
let you. Won't let you leave. But
I don't know what to say, man. Classic conversation. We'll be back.